Crafting Vicky here with you, and today we're making some cards using some stickers, as well as this die from In Love Art, which makes strips. And I just thought it'd be fun to make some backgrounds that we could put on top of a card like this, and then put an accent of a sticker. And I've got a bunch of different little papers here that are just the right size, but that I've had in my stash for a while, and I just thought it'd be fun to use them up and use up those scraps. I'm going to be also using these sentiments here. Those are digital sentiment sheets that you can find in my Etsy store if you're interested. I just love how I can just print a bunch of them and have them on hand for when I'm making some projects. So that's what I'm going to be using on top of this, because I do want the background to be like one of the bigger things. Now, what I was thinking to simplify my life is to run the die on like the full die like that, and then I'm gonna, you know, mix up the different strips of paper afterwards. That was my goal. So that's what I'm gonna do. Turn this around, I put it the wrong way. And I'm just gonna make a bunch of different strips, and then we can remove this the machine and just start assembling some cards. So I'm gonna put the timer just as an indication for myself, because when I make videos that are much longer than 30 minutes, it takes forever to edit and to upload and everything else. And I didn't align my plate properly, so my machine is new and it really... Okay, now I'm gonna just shift this up because it didn't go all the way to the end, I believe. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so we've got... Isn't that fun? So you don't have to make all those little cuts. So just gonna put away all of these to the side so that we can then use them on the project. So put them all over here. Put this in the recycling bin. And I did it the wrong... I usually do it this way. It's probably why I feel like it wasn't working the way it usually does. Anyway, doesn't matter whichever way. This piece here, I'm gonna just cut this off and use that on top of this. And do I have another strip that's shorter? I could use, let's say, this beside it, so I save myself a cut. It would help if I align my pieces properly though, because otherwise it's not gonna work out very well for me. So just put the stickers aside. Yeah, that went a lot better. Okay, so move that. You could split up the two pieces. I just feel that it works out well for me this way, and I didn't want to have to store them separately. Okay, so here's a bunch of the little ones. And then we're going to do gather around. So this, and then had this one, which was little ones. Actually, I put in the bin this here, but this could be used for the sentiment. And so could this piece here. I want to use it to line the sentiment at the end. So let's just take this out. So align these. To use up as much of the paper as possible. I think this one is not the full size, so that's not going to work out. Kind of sad. I like that bright color, but it's not going to work. Okay, so let's do the gray then. Or do the bright green. It's so much easier with the new machine. It's so much easier. Okay, so, whoops. So those are all the small strips. Turned out pretty good. And the bigger strips here. And keep that one. Okay, then I have some oranges and some, is this, whoops, there was one strip left here. Is this, yeah, that's the right size. I could do this brown. This. Okay. Okay, so these. Let's do orange. So once all these little strips are done, it's going to be easier to just pick and choose the colors. I feel like sometimes using your dyes all at once, and then you can put the machine away and free up your desk is easier. Okay. This one that I could put for both. Could have a few of the smaller strips and the bigger strips. And do that one. And then we'll do the green and the teal. I think I will pass on. I had put gray, but I think I'm not gonna do the gray because I've got a feeling like it's not gonna go as well with the other colors that I chose. So just poke it out. This side. Do the teal. I always find like the thinner dies, they get stuck more easily than the bigger ones. Okay, and finally the last one, it's going to be this one. And let's do a mix of both again. And I can put away my machine. Okay, so here we go. And then it's the fun part of assembling. Okay, so what colors do I want to use? First of all, I'm going to have to cut them down a little bit because it's not going to work otherwise. I wonder, I'm thinking that it might be easier, let's say I was to glue it, whoops, glue the strips all down together on a piece of cardstock like that, and then glue that down directly on the card. This way I do one cut. I want to do it like on a, like have a black and then the green, but then I'll still be stuck. So basically I want to hide the full thing underneath with whatever I stick on top, and that's the same size, so that's perfect. So I'm gonna just glue it down fully, and then I'm gonna cut down this, and it's gonna make my life a lot easier. Okay, so now it's just a question of choosing which colors I want to use on this. So have the pale, I don't want the full card to be covered with stripes. I was thinking more like a stripe of stripes and then a little block with the image. So that was my thinking. I could put multiple little ones. Do I cover the full thing and then I can cut it in pieces instead? Trying to see which way is going to be more efficient for this. So I start off not straight, but anyway. That. This. I've been playing a lot with fiddly little dies and things and detail work recently. Kind of like it. It's different than the stuff that I usually do. And I like doing stuff that's different. Again, I'm doing the video this in the morning before I go to the studio to work, because I know that after my full day of work there, I'm going to be tired, and just having to do the editing is going to be plenty. I probably won't have much energy to do much else tonight. And then tomorrow it's back to work. The weekends pass by so fast. Really don't have much, but it's progressing, and that's what's important. I know I'm behind in the newsletter as well. I wanted to have it up, but hasn't happened yet. I need to take an evening. It's the freebie that is taking me longer to put together. That's the part that is harder, is to figure out what I'm gonna give to you guys as freebies. Last strip. Okay, so we've got that done. So let's cut this off. I don't need to cut that part off. I could keep it that way. And then what I wanted was to do a strip. So let's say I could cut this kind of like into two pieces. This, let's say, to here. If I do that. So I'll do this piece first, and then I'll cut it into two pieces, like so. And I managed to not have it cut straight. So here we go. So we've got that done. Then what I was thinking is using some of the other pieces. Let's say, for example, this here. Let's choose an image that we like on top of this. Something like that. Okay, so glue this down. I think gluing it on top of another cardstock before putting it down on the card was a good idea, because otherwise it would be much harder to manipulate. So I'm thinking like that. And what do I want to do for the sentiment? Okay, so let's put this down. Like so. And then I could use I could have also put it on here and done that. Let's do that instead. Yeah. Yep. I like it better that way. Okay, and I'm thinking it needs something else. And I feel like it might be some bling. So let's see, what do I have in terms of bling that could fit with this? Maybe some of the darker green and the lighter green. I feel like these must have been gifted to me. So maybe a lighter green. And then 2 darker green. Just to give it an added little something. And here we go. We've got the first card done. Eee! I think we're going to only get to make 2 cards this time around. But technically now I have a bunch of different backgrounds that I could use, like the stripes that I can use for something else. Now I really need at least, I want to at least make my 2 cards. So let's, it's the first time you're playing with a die, obviously it takes you longer to figure out how it's going to be the best way to use it. Like the thinking of putting it on to something else, you know, that's an added, took me a little bit longer to figure it out, but once you've got it, then it's easier after. Have this here, which is just a note card, so I'm thinking I want to remove the edge, obviously, because it's not going to fit with what I'm doing, but I could leave the blue. Do I just put a leaf? Maybe this with the blue. because it has the blue on it. And then not the right blue. I want something darker. It's more purple. Oh, this would be a good blue. Okay, so okay, so I'm gonna just put this on top of the blue. I think I'm going to use this portion, which should be cut down anyway. And oh, I think it turned out pretty. I like the combination of the dark blue with the green. So we made 2 cards. Not quite as you know, there's not as much as I would have liked, but I do have all these strips that now I can use for making backgrounds, which I'm very happy. So I'm going to put them in a container, and then I can use them whenever. And I can combine whichever one I want to make some fast background. And I think the idea of putting it on something else was a great one, because otherwise it would have been much longer to make the cards. So hope that you've enjoyed seeing this, and I will see you guys very soon. Love you all so much. If you do like my content, please consider subscribing. It helps the channel, and it helps support me as an artist. And consider leaving a thumbs up. That's always a positive, and I always love reading all that your comments and your ideas and your thoughts. You always have great tips to share, so always appreciate it. And so sending you lots of love. Take care. Bye.